And welcome back to the channel, everybody. Welcome back to a new video. And today I'm responding to so many of your messages asking me what I think about Tim Kuniskis turning down or saying no to the CEO of Stellantis position. And I believe some of you believe that somewhere over the last year or so, I've speculated that he could be the choice. I want to remind you all, you will not find a single video that I've shared that thought with you. I've never believed for 1 second that Tim Kuniskis could or would be the CEO of Stellantis. And my reasoning, as I explained in other videos, was pretty simple in that I did get an opportunity to spend a little bit of time one-on-one with Tim Kuniskis, almost a solid hour, just talking with the man on Zoom, just chatting about cars, just talking about just car stuff, nothing business, nothing high level. And here's why. He was not a robot. He was probably one of the most chill bosses I've ever talked to. He got excited, he laughed, he joked, he smiled a lot when we were talking about the cars, we were talking about the Hellcats, we were talking about the Demons, talking about his legacy, the time that he spent at Dodge. And not once did he say to me, you know, I really enjoy dealing with the politics and the business aspect of this business. We never got there. It came down to, if I said what I got out of that conversation, I got, he genuinely loves the product, genuinely loves the customers who love the product, genuinely wanted more people to experience the product. And by the product, I mean the Hemi cars, the Dodge Hemi cars. That's what excited the man when I spoke to him. We didn't get into anything other than the products and the excitement around the products. And some of the business aspect that we did touch on back then was just the dealer markups and the lack of control that he had and the desire to get some control. But outside of that, it was just a guy who loves cars talking to another guy who loves cars. And as I've shared with you before, when I address this subject, the person who's going to take the CEO of Stellantis, or frankly any CEO of any large publicly traded company, is going to be somebody with a deep-rooted background in finance, in the finance aspect. So probably a chief financial officer, chief operating officer, someone like that. Rarely would, at this level, this state of a company, would it be somebody who could likely rival a Lee Iacocca type. And I will tell you, I'm just speculating, but the reason why Tim wouldn't take it is they wouldn't let him be the Lee Iacocca of that company. He couldn't. One, it's way too large. And let me explain. The evolution of most companies, and this is just my experience in this last 30 years of being in business and reaching a place of being in a number 2 level, a vice president level in a large company, that when a company starts off, it starts off with excitement and entrepreneurial spirit, a focus on growth, a focus on building, a focus on aspiration, achieving goals and targets and exciting new things. Innovation. That's what happens when a company is very small and new. There's only one other time that a company goes through that same process of excitement and growth and innovation, is when a company is so far gone that the company is on the brink of or in bankruptcy and trying to turn itself around. Very similar to Chrysler when Lee Iacocca came in. And here's why. They will hire wild and crazy and outlandish, inspirational CEOs because, frankly, they got nothing to lose. They can't F the company up any more than it already is, and they need somebody who's going to swing for the fences. Because when something is going out of business, something is on the brink of death, they will try anything and everything, and bringing in that big, huge personality, the risk taker, the guy with guts. You do not put in a CFO when you're building a company from scratch, or when you're trying to rebuild a company from impending or already experiencing demise. So the only time Tim Kuniskis, I believe, would be a candidate for a company like Stellantis would be if it was about to or in bankruptcy and it's not there. Could it get there someday? Absolutely, any company can. But right now it's still a very large company, because once a company goes through the growth evolution and then they arrive at astronomical numbers, what happens is the finance people start to run those companies. And the finance companies start to basically manage every single decision within those companies. And that's why they end up hiring and choosing a CEO who is a finance guy, meaning a cost cutter, a cost manager, generally not very inspirational, generally not a visionary, generally somebody who's going to be given targets and going to be willing to achieve those targets at all costs. But it's not about the people. It's about the mathematics, the business. So Tim said in this article, and there's a whole lot of words in this article on Mopar Insider, but the part I just want to focus on that kind of confirms what I'm telling you all is Kuniskis dismissed the possibility, saying, some people love business, some love politics, but I love products. And that is who Tim is if you watch him on any of the old videos. Now, is he a good business person? Absolutely he is, no question. But the level a guy like him needs to be at in his mind to be able to run a company like Stellantis is something that it wouldn't last long, because he'd buck the system. He would argue his points. He knows what it would take to aspire to reach the next level. When a company is in a place where Stellantis is, they simply want to be very profitable, drive their stock price up, and slowly and carefully and cautiously rebuild the company to its former glory. Right now, lots of excuses are being made at the C-suite level in Stellantis, and a lot of it's being attributed to the entire car market being down, and that is attributing to the entire EV market being down. And they've got different circumstances taking place in the EU versus what's taking place in America. So I will agree with TK when I say that the position I think Tim would and could take, and that I think he would sit back and wait for, would be overseeing all of CDJR, because that puts him over product that he loves, product that he knows, and keeps him still in the business world, but definitely in a position where he needs to fix and save a company. Because I think everybody would agree that whether Stellantis wants to admit it or not, CDJR, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, is literally on the brink of total demise. You've got Chrysler is a minivan company, and that's all. You've got absolute failure at Dodge with the Hornet, absolute failure with the Daytona EV, and frankly, even the Hemi Durangos are not selling right now. The Hellcat Durangos. Why? Because they've got a pricing problem. These are all things that are right in Tim Kuniskis' wheelhouse, where he could fix prices and then deliver great products, because I believe Tim knows exactly what the American public and car enthusiasts want. I believe he also knows what will get that company to be successful and profitable, which is cheap commuter cars that have a little bit of style, a little bit of panache, but are cheap. And that's when it comes down to their electric car options are stupid and outrageous. The new Wagoneer S is failing right out of the gate, and they thought that was going to be the end-all be-all. The Grand Wagoneers, ultimate failures. These are all fixable things, and I believe Tim could absolutely fix those. But could he go in and deal with the politics in Italy, deal with the politics in the EU, deal with the politics throughout the world, battle with China in the EV market? No, I don't think that's anything that he even desires to do. He could make plenty of money if he sits back, stays in America, and stays as close to the product and the customer as he can while still being in a leadership position. So that's my thoughts on that, and the reason why I still stand by the fact that I don't believe Tim Kuniskis would ever take that position. Not in the place where that company is, where they're just going to put another finance guy or operations guy at the top of the food chain who's going to manage by spreadsheet, manage by P&L. And that's not who Tim Kuniskis is, in my humble and slightly educated opinion. So with that, everybody, please like, subscribe, comment, let me know your thoughts on this situation, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.